Administration, Kasturba Gandhi Degree and PG College. And today we'll be starting the other subject, other public office administration. In this, we will be talking today. We'll be taking up the block 1, that is Introduction to the Public Office Administration. And in this block 1, the topics today what we are discussing are public office administration, nature, scope, and importance. And the second one is differences between public office administration and private office. So first, the first topic, that is public office administration, nature, scope, and importance. In this, we will be discussing about, now first, what is the meaning of an office? Office is a place of work where we talk about once we get into, when we talk about in an office in a regular terms, we get into our mind that it is a place of work or an interaction, exchange of communication, all these where, and ultimately at the end of the day a work is being completed, a work is done. And now what in this, what is the work done here? That is, it is a place where work is being done, where the human resources, the equipments, infrastructure, everything, when it is put together to get an outcome which is beneficial for the work, whatever has been given, whatever the outcome, whatever has come out, is known as an office. So office is a place of work. Now, what is an important medium, tool, or equipment for running the office? Now, in this regard, we can say, and to everybody, we get to our mind, that is the paper. Paper is the most important medium or tool or an equipment for now. Why we are taking this paper as an important tool or a medium? Because the paper, it's in itself is a important tool. Why? Because it helps in sharing of information. Sharing of information is through, when a person wants to explain to the other person, he can write it on a paper, draw a diagram, or explain in a flow chart, or whatever he wishes to explain, he can put it down on the paper, and that is the information that we can say that it is of conveying the information. And another important aspect of paper is the storing of information. After 1 year, after 6 months, or after 10 years also, the paper can be stored and it can be read again, or the information can be taken from that paper. So in the office, in the working of the office, the paper the paper is the most important medium which helps the organization to convey the information, to share the information, to store the information, to record the information, everything. All these important aspects, we can say that paper helps the organization or an office to work in an systematical manner, and also the paper helps them to give out the work in a more efficient and effective manner. Why? Because why efficiency? Why effectiveness? Because if the organization or if the office have the paper, then they can have a ready-made information, what has to be done, how it has to be done, where it has to be done, who has to do the process, everything. So the paper plays a very, very important role in the working of the organization. So we can say that now when we go from the ancient times also on an office, right from the Kautilya period, or in all the aspects, in all the administrations, we can see that the office is an important workplace, because the outcome will be beneficial, which beneficial in which manner it will help the people who are working, and also the people who are outside the organization. So the office is an important place of giving out information, sharing of information. In all these aspects, we can say that office is a place of work which will give out more efficiency and effectiveness. Now, as we were talking about the paper's efficiency and effectiveness, because effectiveness is if the organization of the or the if the office have the paper, then they can store the information. Whenever there is a need for information sharing, then they can also give out the information to the others by conveying or giving them the paper or the file. The important terminology which can be used for paper is the file or a recorded information. So paper is considered to be an important medium, tool, or an equipment, we can say. Now with this week, as I told you, from ancient period, right from, we can say, the ancient period, we call it in the administration, as you might have studied in your second year, the ancient administration. In the ancient administration, we discuss about the Kautilya's period. So in the Kautilya's period, way back from 300 BC, there is usage of paper, there is a workplace where the things can be carried out in a systematical order to get the work done or to get a profit or a service to the people. So the nowadays, if we talk about the present scenario, not of the, as I told you, from the ancient time, from the 300 BC, we have been using paper. That is, on the writings were being done on the leaves, dried leaves, on all these, and on all we can say that the Arthashastra, all these were written on the paper. So the paper has transformed from many centuries, and now we have various types of paper which can be utilized for different purposes. So now presently, as we are we are experiencing e-governance, or we are experiencing e-office. So e-office, previously we used to have an office where the paper was most important tool, but now we are into the age of paperless office or e-office, we can say. Now, what is this e-office or paperless office? Paperless office is where we can say that the system is carried out. The system is carried out through, or the information sharing, storing of information, everything can be carried out through without a paper, without the usage of paper. How can it be done? This is through the CDs, pen drives, mails, and videos, all these. Now the class, what we are experiencing today is also an e-class. E-class means where there is no need of paper. Whatever information we have to share with one and another can be recorded. We are interacting in a virtual mode, where we are talking to each other, we are interacting with each other without the usage of paper. The books, whatever, now the study materials are also available in an e-format, in a PDF format, where this is now we can say that this paperless office is a very major advantageous technology which has paved the way for the betterment of the society, we can say. Because it is as we all know, the paper the paper will be more, we can say that the paper has its we can say that the paper is has many aspects on the, or it is showing repercussions on the climate also, in the climatic conditions, because the paper is being to get the paper is being cut, and the paper is we get that paper from the trees. So this is a climatic the it might create a climatic imbalance also. So the paperless office or an e-office is the usage of better technology, better or interaction, and it can, wherever we are, we can attend the class. Now, presently also in this e-class, we can say, previously we used to have a manual class where there used to be an interaction between the teacher and the student, and the paper, the books were being exchanged, everything used to be done. Now everything is in a PDF format, and everything can be shared. Wherever you are, you can utilize this opportunity and attend the classes and go on with your classes. So paperless office, paper, as I told you, paper is in the
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am, may I know which subject you are teaching, ma'am?
Public office
Public administration.
administration.
Public office administration. Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you.
BA final year, SEM 5, public office administration.
Okay, ma'am.
So we can say that the paper is one of the most important aspect, or we can say a medium tool, as well as nowadays we are in the age of paperless office or an e-office, where we are experiencing all, or we can say that the work is being done without the usage of paper. So this is all about the paper, as we consider paper to be the medium of communication. Now, coming to the office as a center of information services. That is, office can be, as I was discussing about office is as a center of information services, as a center of information services. Now, this, we can justify this stating that the center of information services, because in 6 major aspects, that is, this office acts as an or helps in receiving of information. In the first one is receiving of information, second is recording information, third is processing information, fourth preserving information, fifth supplying information, and sixth is destroying information. Now, receiving information. Receiving information. The office, as we all know, office receives the information. It receives information. Now, for example, take a government office. Now, everyone goes to that government office and gets the information. Now, that government office gets the information from various sources, that is, receiving of information. Now, this receiving of information can be of many types. Can be of many types, like written information, written one, the files, whatever the files which are being taken up for work purpose, where the work is being written, whatever the work has to be done has to be written on a paper format, in a paper, and it is being given to the others for their explanation or for their understanding. So first one is the written aspect. The receiving of information can be done in an written format. Second one is symbolic way. Symbolic is to explain a person what it is through a diagram, through a flow chart. A person can be explained in a very better manner. When we take up where if they want to explain anything, now roadmap or an roadmap, now we all use roadmaps, all these, where these are the symbolic ways where they explain that where to go, how to travel, all these. So symbolic way of receiving information can be done by the office. Third one is verbal. Verbal is through communication. I can say that verbally also information can be shared, and the office acts as an important information service center. Now, the second important aspect is recording of information. So this is the first step in office administration. Office as a center of information center is the office receives the information. After that, it records the information. Why does it record? For future use. Recording of information is just to maintain a record or a file. When this information was received, who has given this information, what is the information all about, to whom to be shared this information, all this is being recorded. Because suddenly, if after 1 week or 10 days or 6 months, if they need that information, they can record, they can check the records on that day, and they can get the rightful information which might help them to achieve their targets. So recording of information is the second important step, or we can say aspect, as we take up the office office as a center of information. Then third one is processing. Now processing is the third one. When the organization receives the information and it stores the information, it cannot store all the information in at one place. Means it has to be segregated. Now why? Because why the segregation has to take place? Because now if the office gets all the information, that is about accounting, about finance, about procurement, or about raw material, about infrastructure, about recruitment of the employees, in all these areas, if the office gets the information and it has recorded the information, now if it has recorded that information, it cannot keep it in a bulk form like that only. Because suddenly, if this office needs the information regarding the finance, whatever whatever finances or whatever profit they received in that one financial year, if they want to search that, they cannot go deep into the papers and check the infrastructure, the recruitment process, who are the employees. They cannot search in that papers. That is, registers, we can say, or the files have to be segregated. That is only processing of information. What is which is where has to be kept where, to make the things work in a simpler manner. That is processing of information. What has to be kept where, who has to be given what, which information has to be shared with whom. All information cannot be shared with everybody. Now, for example, university is there. The university will not share all the information. That is, it will not share all the information of the BA students to the BCom students, the BCom students information to the BSc students. Why? Because only the BA students need the information related to whatever the problems or whatever the information which is relevant to the BA students. That is processing of Now, why? Because the university receives all the information and records the information, but it has to segregate. Now, the application process, applications are being sent to the university. Now, it will record the information that these many applications have received, and then they segregate it. That is only the processing of information. Then the fourth one is preserving the information. As I told you, preserving of information is also very, very important, because preserving of information is tomorrow's future, we can say. For tomorrow's future, if the information is being wiped out then and there, and if suddenly we need that information after 1 week, then it might create many hurdles in the workplace, or it might it might create a problem in the workplace. So preserving of information is also very, very important. Then supplying of information, that is, which department information is needed for whom, that is, what has to be given, when it has to be given, everything has to be sorted out and supplied to them whenever it is necessary for them. Then the last one is destroying the information. Destroying is also very, very important. The outdated information, which is not relevant to the organization, which is not relevant to the office, way back 30 to 40 years back information, which is an outdated information, has to be destroyed. So, and we can say that in many cases we see in the government sector, confidential information, whatever the confidential information will be there, they destroy it to keep the information at low positions. That is, they keep that destroying the information which is not relevant or which is of more confidential purpose. So which should not be which might be a threat to the organization, then it has to be destroyed. So these are the 6 important, we can say, steps involved in the when we consider office as a center of information. And we can also say that these are the 6 services which the organization has in itself. Now, coming to the next point, next subheading, that is classification of office functions. Now, the classification of office functions. Office, as we all know, functions on some certain criteria, and it has some functions to perform also. In that, there are 2 types of them. The first one is the primary, and second one is the secondary functions. The primary functions include the above, whatever the 6 services, whatever I have discussed now. That is, right from the receiving information, recording information, processing of information, then preserving of information. All these come under the primary functions of the office. Because if the office could not, or if the office is unable to store the information, if the office is unable to receive the information properly, process the information properly, maintain the record properly, then the office might not be in a position to work effectively and might not be able to show more effectiveness in their work. So the primary function of the office is it should have all these 6 services with it. Then the secondary information, the secondary functions are planning, organizing, all these come under this. The planning of work, organizing the things, coordination between the employees, controlling the employees, cooperation between all of them. all has to be put it in a systematical position to run the office in an effective and efficient manner. And also we can take up the other secondary aspects as procurement. Procurement is buying of the raw material, procuring something, or we can say buying of something which is necessary for the organization to run. That is procurement. Then equipments, furniture, or technical issues, all these come under the secondary functions of the office. So the office consists of two functions, two types of functions. First one is the primary function, which consists of the 6 important services, right from the receiving of information to the destroying of information. Then the second one is the secondary functions, which includes right from the planning, coordinating, organizing, controlling, all budgeting, all these are come under the secondary functions. And moreover, procurement, infrastructure, furniture, equipments, all these also come under the secondary functions of the office. Then the next subheading is administration of public office. Now, administration of the public office has two important things. That is, public office works as a group, and a public office has a qualities of office administrators. That is, an office works as a group. That is, it has to. Now, a group means who come under this group? Group consists of the people who are the hierarchy, or the people who work with one and another to get the things done. That is, right from the clerk, the whoever are there in the hierarchy, right from the bottom level we go on, that is the clerk, to the senior most person who is there in the hierarchy, because they all have to come together and form a group, a cordial group with no misunderstandings, with no misconceptions to, and all this, when they come together, we can say teamwork also. When all of them come together, complete the task in the given stipulated time, then the office will achieve its targets. So administration in an office should be considered as a group, where a group can consist of right from the clerk to the topmost official. When all of them come together to work in without any misunderstandings, then the work can be carried out in a very simpler manner. Then the next important aspect we can say is quantities and qualities of office administrators. And that now, why we are using this qualities and quantities? Qualities are the personal skills or the capabilities of all the employees who are working in the organization, because their capabilities and skills help the organization to achieve its organizational goals. So it is very important for the organization to have good quality of administrators, that is, good quality of office administrators. Office administrators can be right from the clerk to the higher positioned people. And quantity also. Quality is the capability, the skills, the whatever, all these come under the quality. Quantity is the number of people who are working in the organization. Now, if you take 100 people are there and the outcome is not achievable, the outcome is not good, then the 100 people are not worthy for the organization. But only out of the, if, for example, take 10 people, And if that 10 people help the organization to achieve its targets, then it will be a better place to work for, because their qualities and quantities will shine and will make the organization achieve its organizational goals in no time, we can say. Then above all these, there are another important aspects for the quality and quantities and of the office administrators. As I told you, we can say that the human relations, good personality means thinking about each other, working as colleagues, taking care of one and another, good cordial relationships, and good human relations also, which will help the organization to achieve the targets. Now, the next last important subheading in this topic is office. What are the importance of office? Now, do we think that office is an important place? Yes, office is a very, very important place of work where things can be carried out in a very systematical order. That is, now what might be the importance of an office? To name a few, we can say that office helps in acts as an information center and data bank. Data bank, because now if you take up the government offices, if you want any information some 10 years back or 15 years back, then you can go and get the information from that particular office. So we can say that office is a better place of where the things the receiving of information, because it acts as an information center or a data bank. Then the next one is it acts as the office is important for the and acts as a channel of communication. It acts as a channel of communication because the office, it receives the information from outside and keeps it for her itself. And whenever whoever is in need, whoever approaches them, they share the information with them. So it is a channel of communication. Then the third one is importance of office. Office facilitates managerial control. Office facilitates managerial control, means if an office is there, everybody will work in a systematical order and under one control. Why do we need one control? Yes, we need one control. One control means under one supervision or under one person or one institution's guidance, we can say. Why? Because everybody might not be in a position to take decisions, and if they don't have that capability to take up the decisions, they might take haphazard decisions which might create problems to the others also. So we can say that office helps in, and office facilitates managerial control. Then this is all about the first topic, office, public office administrations, nature, importance, scope, the meaning, etc. Now going to the second topic, that is the difference between public office and private office. Now, as I told you, we will discuss first what is a public office and then what is a private office. Public office. Now, when we talk about a public office, what we get into our mind? That is, and that office, a public office, is a government office. In simple terms to remember, public office is a government office. Now, if you just hear that word government office, what we get into our mind? Okay, government office is a place for the citizens to take care of, to provide the information for the citizens. And if the citizen is in need, he can approach this government office and get the rightful information. That is, every citizen will have a notion, or we can say that he feels that, yes, secured, that whatever, if I go to a government department, a government office, I will get the rightful information. So a public office is a government office, and it can be created. The public office, it can be created by law or by act of a government. That is, the government has that authority to establish an office or a government office. Now, what is a private office? Private office, or it is an enterprise or a business which is owned by private individuals. So, but a public office is for the citizens, and it is established by the government for the welfare of the citizens. That is, it whatever information it receives, it reciprocates or it gives out to the people who are in need of that information. But private office, it is an enterprise or a business which is owned by private individuals. It might be a group of individuals or an individual only. Individual means a person. So a company can be owned by a group of individuals or a single person. So private, this is a difference between public office and a private office. Now coming to the types of offices. Types of offices are, there are some types of offices that are home office, virtual office, co-working office, rental office, and leased offices. Now, what do you understand by the word terminology home office? Now, home office is a place where that individual, when he transforms his home only into an office, when that individual starts working from his, nowadays, this is a buzzword we can say. Now we all are experiencing this home offices only. Due to the pandemic, everybody is at home only and is working from home only. So we can say that home office is a place where a person lives and also converts it into a workplace. Means his personal work as well as his office work, when they are being carried out at one place, that is known as home office. Then the second one is virtual office. Virtual office is the work which is being carried out virtually. Now the class is being conducted on a virtual basis. This is a virtual office where our interaction is taking place through a mode of technology usage, where I am able to interact with you, you are able to interact with me. This is known as a virtual office. And through this virtual office also, things are being carried out and things can be achieved also. So this is a virtual office. Then the next one is co-working office. Co-working office is fellow people, fellow workers. Fellow workers, a place where the work will be carried out with the fellow workers, co-workers. That is known as co-working office. Then the next one is rental office. Rental office is a place a monthly for a period of time or a monthly on rent basis. The place might be taken for a short period of time, and on month basis or on a days basis an amount is paid to the third party, and that place of work is being utilized by the people to get the things done. That is a rental office. Then the last one is leased offices. Leased offices is the place will be taken up on contract basis for a short period of time, and the amount will be paid to the person, and that office is being utilized. In this also, their leased offices might be semi-furnished, fully furnished, or only a portion, only a room is being given, or only an office is being given. This is called as an leased office. Then coming to the next aspect, next subheading, that is features of public office. Now, what are the important features of public office? The most important one are the interpersonal authority, which is, we can say that the interpersonal authority conferred by laws. This is about the public office. That is public office. I'm talking about the features of public office. Public office is a place which is being established by authority and confirmed by law. That is through constitution or legislation or government order. Okay, so an office, a government office, is established through the norms of the constitution or by the government order. This is an important feature of an government office or a public office. Then the second important feature we can say is fixed tenure of time service. Fixed tenure of service, that is nowadays the work of that office will be of a fixed tenure. The people who work in that might be of a fixed tenure. Nobody can remove them whenever they wish to. Once a person is being recruited in a government sector, nobody can remove them. Their services have to be utilized by the department or by the government until their retirement. So fixed tenure of service can be taken up in public office. Then the third important feature of public office is duties and powers must be defined. Duties and powers must be defined means all the people who are working, all the employees who are working in the office, public office, their duties have to be defined, that what has to be done, who has to do that, when it has to be done, how much work has to be done, everything is being defined. Nobody, there should not be any chaos, there should not be any disturbances in the work nature. So it has to be, and the powers also. If you talk about a public office, the powers are divided. Delegation of duties, or we can say decentralization also takes place. Distribution of power. Decentralization is distribution of power. Delegation is delegating the duties, or assigning the duties is known as delegation. Distribution of powers is known as decentralization. So when there is a decentralization, this can be seen only in public offices. Distribution of power. and duties also in a very defined manner. In a very defined manner, we can say. So we can say that this public office plays, when we talk about public office administration, we talk about these only. We talk about the public officers mostly. Why? Because the public officers work in a systematical order, or work in an we can say that they work in a place or in a nature where things have to be carried out with cooperation, coordination, planning. All this has to be taken care of. So this was an features of public office. Next, we will move on to the differences between public office and private office. This we can summarize them by taking as an differences, that is as a table. So first, what is a difference? Most important difference. First, we will take up some of the differences. First one is public office is the chief motto or motive of public office is public service, is public good, that is welfare of the people. Now the government officers, all the government officers or all the government sector, they don't think about profits. They don't think about profits. They only think about service to the citizens. They think about these public organizations or the public officers. They take care of the public and they take care of the work which is being given to them to, that is, whatever information the public need, they give that information. That is, there is no, the chief motive of the public office is welfare of the people, thinking of public good only. Whereas the private office chief motive is gain, profit, because they don't work on the norms or they don't give out their services for free, because it is not welfare. The private officers don't work for welfare. They work for their profit. Their personal motto is very, very important. Then the second one we can say is the public office. These public offices mainly found in service, developmental and business concerns. That is, the public offices can be found, the most important feature we can say that they are found in the services and businesses. But the private offices, they are mainly found in industrial or business organizations where motive is very, very important. What is the motive here? Profit. Profit is an important motive. Then the third important one is the public office is subject to extensive and detailed rules and regulations. The public office, the government offices work under rules and regulations, because when the rules and regulations are framed by the constitution or by the parliament or by the legislature or by the government, each and every employee of the government has to has to abide by the rules and regulations, and he has to work with the rules and regulations only. He cannot say that I will not listen to this. He has to follow the rules and regulations and he has to be in the limits only. Whereas in the private offices, they subject to professional control. Professional control means how they want, they change their rules and regulations, and accordingly they frame their own rules and regulations for their achievement of targets or the goals or objectives also, we can say. Then the next one is the public office is bigger in size. The public office is bigger in size. Why? Because there are many departments in the public office. As we all know, there are so many departments in public office, hence it is a huge one. Whereas the private office is a smaller in size because only few departments work. Hardly 6 to 7 departments come together and work for the organizational objective. But whereas public office is a very huge one. Then the next one we can say is the public office is of a multi-criteria efficiency. Multi-criteria efficiency. Now, what does this mean? Multi means many. So there should be the employees or the workers or whoever, the government officials are everybody, all of them should be multi. That is, each one of them might be excelling, might be specialist in one or the other aspects. Like that, many of them will be there in the government sector and many of them will work for the government sector. Whereas here, multiple, that is in the government sector, there might be multiple, that is finance department, they should have experts in the finance area. Agricultural department, they should have experts in the agricultural area. That is, they should have scientists who can give out better ideas for better agriculture. And HR department, human resource department, where the recruitment procedures have to be taken place. All these, that is multiple, many departments, births and certificates, birth certificates, death certificate, everything has to be in a detailed format. So this is a multi-criterion to have a bring about efficiency. Then the private organization has single criteria efficiency. Single criteria efficiency, that is, ultimately all of them work for only one goal. What is that one goal? That is achieving the target, achieving the profit. That is an ultimate goal of the private institutions. Then the next one we can say is public office is here the public office monopoly is monopoly. What does that mean? Means everybody will work under one umbrella or in one system. Whereas in private, competition with others, fellow competitors, is more important, and it has to be in the competition. It has to be in the competition to achieve the targets and to achieve the profits also. And we can say that in the public office, extensive public contacts are being taken up into consideration. More of public contacts, more of people, interaction of more and people. But in private, it is limited private contact or limited public contacts. Means whoever is needed. Now, if a manufacturing industry is there, now who are related to them in that industry, they have contacts of them only. They don't have contacts of whoever is there in the market. So their contacts will be limited to focus on their efficiency, to bring about more effectiveness in their work. So we can say that these might be the important features of public features, or we can say that these are the important differences between public and private offices. So today, this is all about the difference between a public office and a private office. So in this today's class, we discussed about the block 1, that is public office administration. In that, we discussed about what is Power Office, what are the important tools to run the office, what is paperless office, what is the meaning, scope, and importance of public office. Then we discussed about as public office is an center of information where it gives out 6 important services, and it also helps in building a better society also. Now, in the next topic, we discussed about types of offices, differences between public office and private office. First, we discussed about what is public office, and then we discussed about what is private office. Then we discussed about the types of offices. Then we discussed about the features of public office, why public office is very important. Then lastly, we discussed about the differences between public office and private office. So this is all about the public office administration. Yeah. Please go ahead. If you have any doubts, you can put up. Yes, Vishnu. Yes, anybody has any doubts? So today, in today's class, we discussed about these aspects. So in the next class, we'll be discussing the module 2. So this is all about the public office administration. This is in this 5th semester. This is an discipline specific elective course. This is an specific elective course, public office administration. Yes, any doubts regarding the today's topic? You can come up. Anybody? Anybody has any doubts regarding today's class? Yeah, okay then. Thank you.